that's going to be the center. So you just want the little piece rolled up. And I love working with Fab Tack glue. The only thing is it's very sticky. Okay, now once you get all these pieces done, what you're going to do is then you're going to want to assemble them. So we will assemble them. And of course, I have sets that are already dry to save time. Now these ones are already done. But you got your big piece, the one piece here that had just the one piece cut out. This was your 3, the 2. I'm sorry, this was the 3, the 2 in the center, and your 3 little pieces. Now when you assemble it, what you're going to want to do is you need to cut out the bottom. That way you've got it so it can all like nest within each other. So what you want to do, don't be afraid, you're not really going to cut too much out of it. It's just a matter of getting it all to sit in there. So if you just take it, cut it, you might want to make it a little bigger. And you're going to do that with all your pieces, because you need them all to set inside. If you find you didn't cut enough, you can always cut more out. It's better to go not too much, because you don't want to cut it too much. That way you can't obviously put it back if you cut it too much. Now you're going to cut the tips off of all of them. So, and then here's your little inside of your bud. Here, cut that one too. Now these are the 3 extra pieces here, so you make your rose a little fuller, and you're going to want to do the same thing. Just cut the edges off a little, because you're going to want to fit it down inside the rose, and if you got the points on, it's just not going to fit. Now we're going to assemble, and it's basically just putting the pieces together. Now where we had the overlap, what you're going to want to do is just cut the bottom piece off, not the top, because that's where you're going to curl. So you just cut the bottom piece off. You're going to want to do that on all the pieces. Especially as you get down to the smaller pieces, it's going to be a lot harder to curl when you have double. You can do it, I've done it. It just makes it easier. There. Now what you're going to do is take your bigger piece, and you're going to load in lots of glue. And again, the Fab Tack dries really quick, so, and you're going to put it in. Now it's nice if you kind of stagger it so they're not, see if you line them up like this, you're not going to have a lot of fluff with your flower. So if you just kind of angle it so that it goes like that, and then glue into the next piece. And you're going to put the next piece in. And it doesn't take too long for it to set up. And then you're going to take this piece. And what you're going to do is you're going to want to put your center bud in there first before you stick it into the big part of the flower, because it gets a little harder to get it afterwards. Right now I have glue all over me. You're going to want to put a little bit of glue inside. Don't be afraid to load up the glue. It just may take a little longer to dry, but at least you know you're not going to fall apart. Now don't worry about it, because you can see it looks like it's lower. Once you curl your petals, you're not going to notice that it's sunk in there, because it's actually going to be sticking up nice once you do. And then when you glue that, you're just going to want to more glue inside here. And then you're going to put this inside. And before it totally sets, You can just rearrange the petals to what you like, just so it looks more like a rose, because they're not going to be all lined up. So you just do that. You see, it's kind of starting to look like a little flower already. So, give that a second to set. And you can make these all different colors. It's usually just better to go with a lighter color on the inside and then work with a darker color on the outsides of the petals. But don't be afraid to try different things with it, because you can take them afterwards and add stickles and glimmer mess. And it's kind of fun just to experiment with it. And I'm all covered in glue. Alright, so that should be setting. And now as it's set, and you can just start rolling your petals, because you need to make them roll out like this. You're going to add your extra pieces. Once you start rolling it out, you're going to realize where you don't have some empty spaces. But as it's gluing, the glue's drying, you can just start rolling your petals out. Like that. If you just keep working it, they start rolling. For some reason, they don't seem to roll back, which is kind of nice. Not really sure what keeps it like that, but keeps it nice. And the grunge paper is pretty flexible, so you can do a lot with it. But all you do is just keep rolling the petals. And this is why you want to cut off those extra petals, because when you have them doubled up, it's a little harder to roll them. You can roll them, it just takes a little longer and a little more work to them. And you just keep working your way in, rolling all the petals. And you can start to see it's taking a little shape. My glue's still wet, so it hasn't totally set yet. You can make them different sizes, as long as what you need to make sure is you have a 6-petal flower. I'm going to try to post one on my blog, so that way you can just copy it. But if not, all you really got to do is just Google 6-petal flower and do clip art, and that's actually how I found mine. You can use dies and stuff too to cut the grunge paper. A lot of times with the dies though, you actually have to make extra slits in your petals, so that way you can do what we're doing. But you don't really need to go out and buy expensive dies. Just Google 6-petal flower and just print it out and put it on heavy cardstock. You can see it's starting to take a little shape. You just keep working. It takes a little while to do that, but you can see it's getting there. Now with these extra petals here, you can see like there's a little open space here and the one in the back. So what I do is put a little glue on it and just fill in where it looks like it's a little open. And you're going to have to let that set too before you curl the petals. But makes it a little fuller, and I like nice full roses. And wherever. I mean, if you want to cut extra petals to make your rose even fuller, you can. But this way, all you end up doing is you're just using the 4 patterns that you cut in the first place. And I can put it over there. And it's just eyeballing it, seeing where you want to put them. And actually, I just realized I missed one piece. And luckily it's not set. So sorry about that. I messed that one up. Didn't even realize it. I'm just Luckily the glue wasn't dry, so I don't think would have even noticed. It was pretty fluffy in there. And if you just keep working the petals, it makes it a little curlier. Gotta wait for the glue to dry a little more. But there you have it. It's a grunge paper rose. Thank you for watching my first video tutorial.